The commission chair says the chairman of the commission says the chairman of the commission says the
It's Open Line Friday.
I wrote the number down. I don't know if it's the right number. Let's try it.
Call Henry and Patrick now at 252-561-8255.
I don't know. Give it a shot.
Or at 866-963-1037. This is Talk 96.3 and 1037. Now from the Town Bank studio, here's Henry Hinton and Patrick Johnson.
Hey, 71 and sprinkly. It's very sprinkly out there this morning as we join you here on Open Line Friday. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the program. Today is Friday morning. It is July 24th. It is our last day in the studio for the next week. Next week, Talk of the Town will take a little summer hiatus, and I am going to hiatus my ATIS to Paris, France today. Later today, we're going to be boarding Air France out of Raleigh-Durham. I think there's about 60 of us going. It's the Talk of the Town European vacation. Talk of the Town hometown tour in Paris. and we've got some of our listeners going with us, and we're looking forward to that. I was just looking at the Paris weather. One of the days that we have one of the longest walking tours, it's supposed to be 100 degrees. It's been like 78 this week, but it's going to get hot again next week in Paris. Here in Greenville, 71 and some showers this morning, 100% chance of rain. I was just looking. The rain should trickle off mid-morning, maybe about 9:30 or so. Rain's going to trickle off here, but high today in Greenville, 79, 76 tomorrow, still about a 90% chance of rain tomorrow. Sunday's forecast is better, 87 and 15 degrees. Let's see. Let's go down to the Moorhead forecast and see what it looks like. Well, here's the Pine Knoll Shores forecast. Today's high 81 and 60% chance of rain. My daughter's taking some friends to the beach this weekend. I think it's going to rain all week. I hate to say it. Tomorrow, rain and 95% chance of rain. 80 for a high tomorrow. Sunday looks okay, 84 degrees at the beach and 15%. So that's the forecast here at the beach and in Gay Paris, where I will be later today. So we get a week off from the show. Michael's going to take a little time off. PJ is going to be, I think, BJ, you're going to be here doing news and stuff next week, right? But we're going to have that new show. What's it called? Michael, I never can think of it.
Gordon Deal.
Gordon Deal. Good morning to everybody. PJ, good morning. Is it raining where you are? You
looks
haven't
like
even
it
looked
is,
out
yes.
this morning. Are you at the Working Man's Beach today?
Working Man's Beach. Yeah, it looks like it's light rain. Could be. It's been on and off all night. I think the majority of the rain has actually been north of here.
Logan
Tonight,
Wilcox,
or
the
overnight.
intern, is producing the show this morning. Good morning, Logan. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing good. How you doing?
No camera on Logan once again. No camera on the. You know what I did? I went and looked at the YouTube feed last night. I've never done this before. I went and looked at My wife watched us on YouTube yesterday. The YouTube feed is up, and I think now that it's been up a while, it's easier to find. You just go to YouTube and you search for Talk of the Town. Let's see if it works this morning. I'm going to try it now. I'm going to YouTube. All right, now I'm putting in Talk of the Town. I misspelled town. Go to live. There we are. Bam. Michael, you're a stinking genius. You got it working right. Very exciting.
Do I win the gift card from Montavola?
Sure, take a gift card from Montavola. Why not?
Okay.
You have to take that up with a hammer. I don't know whether the hammer is okay with that or not. All right, let's see. We got Open Line Friday. Some topics. What do you think? I got some good topics I'm going to throw out for Open Line Friday. I'll do that in just a second. Let me tell you first of all, though. Today's the last chance I get to tell you about this big auction tomorrow, and today is the day you can go and preview the items at Bostic Sugg. It's the Laughing House Family Living Estate Sale, starting at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning in the Bostic Sugg building. Over 400 items, and an absolute auction. And registration and viewing begins at 6:30 tomorrow morning. And the items can be previewed today from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. I think some of our guys are going over there today at 10 o'clock to see if we can find some stuff for our new building when we move later this year. Registration and viewing will begin at 6:30 tomorrow morning. Bidding begins at 8 o'clock sharp tomorrow morning. Billy Clark, John Moore will be there doing the bidding, the auctioneering. Cash, Venmo, or Zelle are the accepted forms of payment for this absolute auction. Dealers are welcome. All items must be removed on the day of the purchase, so bring your truck or trailer to load your purchases. Personnel will be available to assist you with loading. This absolute auction sale will end at 4 o'clock Saturday, but if needed, the sale will resume on Sunday at 2 o'clock. All this happening in the Bostic Sugg building, 2115 East Fire Tower Road. So tomorrow's going to be a rainy day, be a good day to go to an auction. Head out there tomorrow. All right, PJ, let's talk about some of the here are some of the items that I thought might be good Talk of the Town Open Line Friday items. First of all, some people contacted me last night. I think we're going to have some calls about that dog that died in the Pitt County Sheriff's vehicle. And now the Sheriff's Department blaming a lack of funding. So, I had somebody contact me last night and say, you know what it costs to train one of those dogs? $10,000 to $25,000. So,
Okay.
Tragic enough that we lost a dog. And I've heard from a lot, you and I have some close friends who are very huge dog lovers. I'm a huge dog lover. But this,
So here would be my question.
And I'm told that this happened a while back, but we're just now learning about it. So, there's some drama around that. Yes, what were you going to say?
How is forgetting that you've left a living being in a hot car in the summer a money issue? How does money affect one's ability to?
I don't know.
I'd love
to
if
hear
it is a
statement.
budget issue, let's assume it's a budget issue. You just flushed $25,000 down the toilet. If it costs that much to train one of these dogs, and if these dogs, training them is pressing the budget, why would you not take care of that investment? And then why are we only learning about it now?
Those are all great questions. Those are all great questions. Somebody needs to answer some of those questions, I think. More drama in Washington at the city council. I got contacted about this last night. I didn't really know what they were talking about, but the Washington city manager, who's been on the job just a couple of months, got fired night before last. Washington's politics, man. Beaufort County politics. Wow.
It's a contact sport.
Yeah, and I was really impressed with that mayor when we had her on over there, Ellen Brabo. She was not at the meeting where they fired this guy. She's a former military person, but she's made some moves recently that made me scratch my head. But they fired this guy in a special call meeting when the mayor was out of town. Jonathan Rory was his name, the city manager. And
so is this an end around of the mayor?
I don't know. Maybe somebody in Washington can call and give us some info on this. I know there's some people who want to talk about this, so maybe we'll hear from that today. But a couple of the city council members, this guy Anthony Tyre and Antoine Horton, called the meeting to fire this guy because apparently he had made the decision to make some changes in the way the police dispatch was done and the emergency communications operations. He apparently was, one of the guys quotes here in this WITN story says he was talking about the upcoming budget. I don't know if he meant the budget after the current budget because he came in right at the budget year, but he said dispatch is gone. You can tell the dispatchers to look for other jobs. So maybe his decision was that they were not going to have dispatch, that the 911 calls would come straight to the police department or something. I don't know. I don't quite understand it, but I just know there's some more Washington drama in the city council. The city council in Washington. Hey, at least you're not Rocky Mount. Okay? At least you're not Rocky Mount. We can talk about Rocky Mount, too, if you want to. I don't care.
I didn't bring this up yesterday, but I guess Wednesday, not your granddaddy's Big Five. So they shut off, the city shut down some of the people's utility bills that have been delinquent on it for months, and that started Monday. And, of course, it was hot the first 3 days of the week. And so in typical not your granddaddy's Big Five fashion, they do a, piece, the victim's advocacy piece, but don't really go into the details of everything that is going on there in Rocky Mount. Just Rocky Mount's the heavy shutting things down on people.
Yeah. WRAL television ain't what it used to be, is it?
That's why it's not your granddaddy's Big Five.
My friend David Crabtree
Charlie Gaddy
left there and
ain't walking through those doors.
Or Crabtree. Crabtree left and is now running public television. By the way, who's your buddy that does the statewide show on public television? Kelly.
Kelly McCullen.
Kelly McCall reached out to me and wanted me to do
McCullen, not McCullen.
He wants me to do that. What's the name of the show? State Lines.
Yep.
He wants me to do that show. And I told him I'd do it, but they were trying to. Crabtree called and talked about maybe me coming up today, but I'm like, no, I cannot do it today. There's no way I can do it today.
Could have done it on the way to the airport.
No, it's too much, man. It's too much. I still got packing to do.
Okay.
Last night I was taking my, I got one of those little cases that you put your medicine in. I was putting all my vitamins and my pills in it. Almost 73 years old. A lot of pills, a lot of testosterone.
Are you going to go on it at some point, or you don't know?
I told him that I would, but I said let's look at in August maybe. I don't know.
All right.
If I told them I would try to do the show, if they want me to do that.
The last time you went on one of these statewide shows, you wound up being the guest host, and you got real involved in it. So, I mean, are you ready for all that? I don't think you would, but
that's not going to happen at public television. I don't know. Right. But Crabtree and I are buddies now. He's a good guy. I love David Crabtree.
You've said you're going to have him on the show,
and he keeps saying he wants to be on the show, and I keep saying to him, "You have an open invitation anytime you want to come." The guy has won an Emmy for crying out loud.
Well, and apparently is a it likes my work on this show. Which is
he has made some
nice.
very strange comments about how he likes you on the show.
Well, there you go.
I don't get it personally, but
well, then why haven't we had him on? Is the question.
Because of that. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. All right, so we can talk about Washington. What is going on? What the heck is going on in Washington? We can talk about the dog in the Pitt County deputy's car. What are some other good topics this morning? Iran has now rejected our U.S. ceasefire proposal while Trump keeps saying they really want to make a deal. They really want to make it. They clearly don't want to make a deal.
Certainly.
They don't want to make a deal. And, what's next? Are we going to nuke them? Are we going to go Harry Truman on them?
Apparently, we're going to go in harder than Midnight Fury or whatever it was.
Yeah. What do you think about that? What should we do now? What's Trump's next move? I read this morning that Markwayne Mullen is in trouble with Trump, the new Homeland Secretary. He has there's signs of trouble for Markwayne Mullen in the administration. He's made some decisions and some public comments that you just don't make as a cabinet member under Trump. Apparently there's a lot of stress about the comments that he made about pausing vehicle stop procedures, ICE, pausing vehicle stop procedures nationwide. It lasted about 10 minutes, and then Trump came out and said, no, we're not doing that. An administration official who is unnamed in this story that I'm reading here on Politico says every cabinet member, every cabinet secretary knows that they have to come to the White House for major policy decisions. The president sees, hears, reads everything. And apparently he was on CNN a couple of weeks ago and misspoke while discussing a Supreme Court ruling tied to legal protections for immigrants from Haiti and Syria. Mullen indicated that hundreds of thousands of people from those two countries would be eligible to apply for legal status. The ruling did not actually extend that opportunity, so he was in error. So Markwayne Mullen's judgment is facing scrutiny over another personnel matter. He has backed Lance Shoryer, a longtime associate for the role of ICE director. His background includes service as an incident commander with the Oklahoma Highway Patrol, but questions have circulated about whether that experience adequately prepares him to run an agency the size and scope of ICE. Tom Homan, the border czar, is among those skeptics. Homan and others are not particularly thrilled with this choice. So, and Homan and Trump are right in lockstep. I mean, it just sounds like there's some trouble for Markwayne Mullen. And, when there's trouble and the administration starts to leak some comments like that, usually doesn't bode well. All right, we got to get a break in. Lines are open at 252-561-8255, 252-561-8255. Open line Friday, anything on your mind this morning. And don't forget, you can go to the IBX Media app and click on the Talk to Us button, and you can send us a message that way. But just call in this morning, 252-561-8255, 561-8255. It is Talk of the Town, Open Line Friday.
It's Open Line Friday.
I wrote the number down. I don't know if it's the right number. Let's try it.
Call Henry and Patrick now at 252-561-8255
I don't know. Give it a shot.
or at 866-963-1037. This is Talk 96.3 and 1037. Now from the Town Bank studio, here's Henry Hinton and Patrick Johnson.
We're getting calls, and we're going to go to the phones. Jeff says talk about the Outer Banks restaurants serving seafood that is not local, but they claim to be local. Yeah, I haven't talked about that on the show. That's a good topic we can talk about.
we
also.
had it in a note in news earlier in the week where Celeste Carnes is behind some of the legislation behind that.
What kind of legislation? She's trying to make them buy from a certain group? Or maybe
I
you
can
have
look
to.
it up
Maybe
and
you have
see.
to say it's not. Maybe the legislation would be you have to indicate it's not locally grown, because the shrimping industry down there is all up in arms. This is another shrimp industry issue, and of course that's a big deal in Eastern North Carolina. They hired a consultant. This consultant, SEAD Consulting. And they went in and did DNA tests on shrimp in all the restaurants on the Outer Banks and found that 22 of them were not serving locally caught shrimp. 11 of them were not selling American wild-caught shrimp. 10 of them were falsely advertising that their shrimp were locally sourced. And they're buying shrimp from these frozen shrimp from these companies that the shrimp could be from China for all we know.
Yeah, I just sent you the text on that.
Okay, thank you. All right, so we can talk about that. Anything on your mind? 252-561-8255. Tradition continues. Kevin in Winterville leads us off. Good morning, Kevin. How are you?
Good morning, Henry. How you doing?
I'm fantastic, man. How you doing?
I'm a little wet out here, but I'm all right.
You're wet.
Wet.
All right. What's on your mind this morning?
Well, two things. First of all, I guess I'll start with the fun thing. Patrick needs to ask Blake how was meeting John Gruden yesterday down at the media day.
Yeah, I heard that Coach Harrell was and some of the other coaches were hanging with Gruden. Apparently, John Gruden has been hired by Tim Pernetti, the conference commissioner, to do some marketing and promotion of the conference. They've got this new American mascot called SOAR. Yeah, and they're making a big deal out of that.
Gruden's good at that.
They unboxed it.
Yeah, Gruden unboxed it. They sent it to Gruden. You know how Gruden gets all the
a little cringe.
All the schools send Gruden all this stuff to wear, which I'm sure he never wears. Wonder what he does with that. Wonder what he does with that stuff when they send it, because he does the video with it. Oh my God! Look at this.
Overseas.
Kansas Jayhawks have sent me a sweatshirt.
He said Brock Spalding looked like a Jimmy Garoppolo yesterday when he met him. So I thought that was pretty funny. But hey, I love the talkback feature. I'm probably going to abuse it, but it's all right.
That's all right. Abuse it. That's fine. That's why it's there.
I wanted to comment on my call back from earlier this week when I said that Tillis doesn't stand for the people of North Carolina anymore. And, I mean, number one, the Stay Back needs to be passed. It doesn't matter if it's flawed or not. Like you said, it can be fixed later on. I think it's more important that it be fixed by 28 election than these midterms.
I don't always agree with everybody who comes down on Tillis just because he disagrees with Trump. I think he's been right more than wrong, and that I catch a lot of heat for saying that. And I've never made I've never made any bones about the fact that Tillis has been a friend of mine for a long time. I like Tom Tillis personally, but I tell you, the last year he and I have had a strained relationship. But it's like disagreeing with a friend, in my case. But I mean, we've literally been shouting at each other in his conference room over some of these issues that I've been in D.C. working on, and then NAB decided to shock him and put me up in the in that hearing against Gene Simmons, and then none of the people that supported the radio industry showed up, and it was just a bloodbath for me.
Right.
But that's all right. But the thing I tell you, but the thing that I really, really, really have split with him on is his stance on the Save America Act. I just don't believe that his arguments against why we should not go ahead and pass the SAVE Act right now are valid enough.
Right, and he's coming out and saying he's going to fight tooth and nail to stop it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, all right, so you're basically a Democrat now. I mean, that's what you're saying.
I mean, look, there's no doubt he and Trump have a personal feud.
Yeah.
They don't like each other now. I wouldn't like Trump if I was Tillis the way he's come down on him. And, Trump started it.
Right.
But and Tom was right about some of the stuff that he was fighting Trump on. I mean, you got to hand it to him on this level. He's not a sycophant. He doesn't just fall down to his knees and say whatever Trump thinks is right.
Right.
And I like that about
good.
him. I like that about him. He was right about the Washington prosecutor that he thought should not be confirmed. He's been right about a lot of stuff. He was not right on some of his votes. And he's not right on
squishy before that. It's squishy before this blew up, though, didn't it?
Well, I mean, squishy is in the eyes of the beholder. I've agreed with him on a lot of. I've agreed with him on most of it. Some of it I haven't, but this Save America, this idea that we shouldn't pass the Save America Act because we don't have time to implement it properly. Come on, man.
And honestly, it's been the last 2 years where I've been disagreeing with him more than anything. His whole term has been, hey, good job. Yeah, for that. Yeah.
I need to get him on. I haven't had him on in a long time since he and I have been kind of snapping at each other. I haven't had him on much.
If he will come on and do like a little town hall with you or something, I will be happy to call in and challenge him.
If I ask Tom to do that, he'll do it. But I mean, it'll look. Here's the thing about him. He's people who want to call in and slam him. He's not going to take it. He'll be fighting back if we do that.
Right.
I mean, it'd probably be some great radio. Maybe I should do that. But I mean, my relationship with him right now. I will say this though. Let me tell you what happened when we were in D.C. Our first meeting in D.C. last week was supposed to be with him, and the lawyers set it up, but they mistakenly set it up in the Senate Judiciary office with one of his people, because that's where they told him that the staff member was going to be. Well, whenever they try to push us off to a staff meeting, if I've got the congressperson or senator's text, I text him and say, hey, we've come to D.C. to meet with you. We want you to stick your head in so we can talk to you. So I did that with Tom. And we get over and then I didn't realize it. We get out of the Uber and we're going into the Judiciary building where the Senate Judiciary offices are. And we're meeting with some wet behind the ears young staff person. And I was sitting there thinking, oh my God, this is such a waste of time. So I'm texting Tillis going, they sent us to the wrong office. He was in another building. And let me tell you, he's a sitting United. To his credit, he said, where are you going next? And I said, well, we're actually coming over to Ted Budd's office in your building. And he said, I'll come over there. So how about that? He actually came from his office over to Budd's office, and we met with Senator Tillis in Budd's office. And, again, we disagreed about some things, but he came and met with his North Carolina broadcasters and allowed us to air out our position on some of these things. He's been helpful to us on some things. He's been very hurtful to us on some things. He's been hurtful to us on one of the major issues, which is why my relationship with him right now is strained.
And things you wouldn't expect. And I think that's where it sticks in your craw a little bit. You wouldn't expect him to be backing down from the fight you're talking about. He's been very direct with me, and as you can imagine, I've been very direct back with him. I have not. I have told him exactly what I thought and told him where I thought he was wrong, and
it's turned into some heated meetings over the last 18 months with him. All right, we got people holding. Thank you, Kevin, for leading us off.
You're welcome. Have a great
All
trip.
right, anybody want to call about anything? It's Open Line Friday, 252-561-8255, 561-8255. John in Greenville, good morning.
Hey, good morning. I'm calling on the story about the Pitt County Sheriff's K-9 that died in the hot car.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
From what's been reported, it really appears to be more a case of gross negligence. I know the sheriff said it was a lack of funding, but, the press release was vague. It was issued weeks after it happened, and that raises a lot of questions about transparency. That dog suffered and died a painful death in the line of duty.
Must have been there. Must have been in there a long time.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. And, the sheriff said that the car lacked some sort of temperature, safety, or monitoring equipment. The deputy knew that it lacked that. The deputy knew it was 99 degrees outside.
Yeah, that's a non-starter for sure.
Right.
Just take the L. You made a mistake.
Exactly.
Somebody screwed up. Take the L and admit that there was a mistake made. And
exactly. I just think the deputy had a better, more responsibility to monitor that dog. And has the deputy been admonished in any way, or we don't know from that vague press release. And I challenged the elected sheriff of Pitt County to come on Talk of the Town and address it directly.
Well, I'll invite her. I'm going to be gone for a week. When I get back, I'll see if she wants to come on. She didn't show up for the Crime Stoppers Radiothon last week. We were raising money to help her.
That is a shame. A lot of times these police dogs, when they die in the line of duty, they get these, I've seen them before, these heroes funeral, which I think are very appropriate. And this dog died in the line of duty, and they swept it under the rug.
I'll tell you what I'll do. I will text Paula during the commercial break and ask her to call in this morning. And
I'm going to wait to hear from her.
Let's see if she'll do that.
That sounds great, Henry. Hey, enjoy your time in Europe. I hope y'all have a great time.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Thank you, John.
Thank you,
all right, 252-561-8255, 252-561-8255. Let's go up to Chowan County and is it EP? EP? Did I get it right?
That's correct. Correct.
EP, good morning.
Good morning, Henry. How are you?
I'm good. You live in the county? You live in Edenton? Where you live?
I live on the Edenton side of Rocky Hot Creek.
That's what I'm talking about. God's country.
There you go. Listen to you guys every morning.
Well, thank you so much.
I have to find out what's going on in Edenton by listening to you. Look, I have a question. Could I direct a question to Patrick, please?
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you.
Patrick, are you listening?
Yeah, good morning, EP.
Good morning. Patrick, I think it was last Friday, and I tried to call in earlier this week, and I couldn't make a connection. But anyway, I was going to jog your memory. Do you remember in the news making a statement about United Healthcare Advantage and ECU and something that was going on with them? I got part of it, and I didn't get it all. And like myself, there are myriads of people, I think, who are interested in this. And I was wondering if you remembered the gist of what you said in that news article.
ECU Health and United Healthcare?
Yes.
Is that what you're asking me? Yeah.
Yes.
They dropped the United Healthcare. They're not if
there's a
contract patient, you're out of network now. Yeah, they had United Healthcare has been famously difficult to deal with.
This is correct. And Mike Waldron was on yesterday, and I thought maybe he might mention something about this, and I haven't heard another word except
we did have Brian Floyd on talking about this when it all happened.
I know earlier.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I remember.
But they said they just
couldn't.
This was
a recent thing.
Yeah.
In the news,
so
and I was just
recently.
I didn't get it all, and I was curious.
Yeah, EP recently, I guess they have announced like a temporary reprieve through August 6th for the plan. In other words, they've kind of extended the deadline, But I mean, you probably need to check with ECU Health or the insurer on that.
Well, I haven't received any correspondence from either United Healthcare or ECU regarding it. So I was just curious as if you remembered about what you were saying. And and the part that I got, it made me think there was some sort of reconciliation, even if it was temporary or something. And that's what I'm.
Well, I'll reach out to ECU Health this morning, try to get an answer for you, EP. And if I get it by the end of the show, I'll mention it on the show. So keep listening.
Thank you, and thank you, Patrick.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for calling. EP. What? By the way, is EP your real name?
It's my initials.
I understand. That's what I thought. Well, hey, it's great to hear from you.
You too. And I want to wish you a bon voyage.
Oh, thank you very much. Au revoir. Au revoir. All right. Thank you, EP. 252-561-8255. 252-561-8255.
Oh.
Got to get a break in. Joe in Halifax is up next. We'll be right back.
It's Open Line Friday.
I wrote the number down. I don't know if it's the right number. Let's try it.
Call Henry and Patrick now at 252-561-8255.
I don't know. Give it a shot.
Or at 866-963-1037. This is Talk 96.3 and 1037. Now from the Town Bank studio, here's Henry Hinton and Patrick Johnson.
All right, couple of follow-ups. For EP and Chowan, I have an answer for you. A high-level official from ECU Health was listening when you called in, and he just texted me and said, we have extended the contract into August for now, as we are trying to sort through getting the contract done. Can't share much more at this point, but at least we're in discussions to get some terms that are sufficient. That's the way these things go. Somebody has to shut it off before there's actually any real negotiation. It's kind of like what we hear when the players union strikes the NFL, that kind of stuff. And I have texted Pitt County Sheriff Paula Dance and asked her to call in, or ask if we may call her to get a statement about her comment that funding was the problem with the dog that died in the hot car, and I have not gotten a response as of yet. All right, Open Line Friday, 252-561-8255, 561-8255. Joe in Halifax, you're up next. Good morning.
Good morning, Henry.
Yes, sir.
Patrick, how are you doing?
Fantastic. Thanks for the call.
Good. You asked the question, what should we do in Iran? What the American public should do, the vast majority that oppose this war in Iran, is to call your congressman and call the government and tell them to stop this madness. There's nothing good is going to happen for continuing this war. This is nothing more than a regime change war that Trump campaigned about. It has nothing to do with nuclear weapons. It's an effort to change a government pushed by Bibi Netanyahu to get a government in there that they can control. They may do it, but what's the cost? Okay, right now the Bab el-Mandeb Strait has been closed. That's another 7 million barrels of oil that's coming out of the Red Sea that's going to be closed. And I mean, the Houthis don't even have to close. All they got to do is blow up that transfer line that comes from Jeddah over to the Red Sea, and that's 7 million barrels cut off. We're in a dire situation now.
Joe, there are a lot of people who agree with you, and I know that, but I will tell you that we from time to time I talk about the fact that we've got someone in the intelligence community that reaches out to us because we are in a high military area, and we have people who listen in the military, and there's someone that sends us information off the record, and the stuff that he sent me, because he's heard me make comments that have questioned whether we should continue the war or not, and the stuff he sent me recently is that the intelligence community believes that the nuclear weapons problem is a major issue and has to be brought to an end.
Okay, well, good then. What you do is you go in and bomb a country and kill 165 children and guarantee a nuclear weapon. Okay?
Yeah.
That's what we don't get.
I understand.
Okay, and if there's anybody from the military, he's going to want to push to continue war because money is made from this military industrial machine that Eisenhower warned about in 1954.
Yeah. Okay, well, I mean, I hear you, and I think a lot of people agree with you. All right, make it quick.
I want to say, for the people that say they want to finish the job, if you want to see what finishing the job looks like, go to Washington, D.C., and look at that memorial where 58,220 soldiers died and 1,600 missing. Have a good day.
Joe, try the decaf, bro. I feel we got to take a quick news sport. You got a couple of sports headlines for us there, PJ?
I had some Blake Harrell audio, but
go ahead. We'll do it. Go ahead. I want to hear that.
All right, American Athletic Conference Media Days going on in the Tampa Bay region. Here at the end of the week, ECU's quarterback battle between Mitch Griffiths and Emory Williams, a central theme. in the preseason for the Pirates. And here is Coach Harrell on that competition.
Anytime you have good competition on your football team, it makes everybody around you better. And I couldn't be more excited about those two young men and the progression they've made in the offseason. I think whichever way we go, whatever happens here in August, I think, and throughout the season. And I know we're going to have some adversity throughout the season, and we'll overcome that. But I feel really good about those two young men. I feel like we're in good hands.
And ECU will honor Pirate legend Chris Johnson this season with his ALS battle. The Pirates will wear a helmet decal featuring Johnson's name as number 5 and an ALS awareness ribbon. We'll get into more details on that and some Panthers news, including some injury news, as time allows next hour.
All right, very good. Got some more calls holding here before we get to the news break. Ronald in Atlantic Beach, you're on Open Line Friday. Good morning.
I'm as passionate the opposite direction of Joe as he was, and I apologize in advance if you've already mentioned this morning. I just hopped on the radio on my way into Kinston, but Senator Tim Sheehy, Republican from Montana, spoke on the Senate floor July 23rd, and if you Google or YouTube it, and if every American heard that passionate plea, I think the percentage of people that approve of the war would be as high as the people that approve of the SAVE Act. So I really encourage the listeners to go online and listen to Senator Tim Sheehy from Montana.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that, Ronald. Down Atlantic Beach this morning. Is it raining in Atlantic Beach?
Not right now.
Okay. All right. Let's stay down at the beach. Tom in Bogue. You're on. Good morning, Tom.
Good morning, Henry. I hope you have a good trip.
Thank you.
When you get back, can you please report on how you handled the shower in your boat room?
Why is that a problem?
Well, you're an above average sized gentleman, and the shower and the bathroom is not very big.
Have you been on a Viking boat?
Well, I've done 2 river cruises with Uniworld, and the boats are pretty much the same, and they're nice. And it is a wonderful trip. It's 2 of the best cruises my wife and I have ever done. But it'll be interesting to just comment on the size of the.
Well, I'll tell you, you know what? I haven't heard one negative thing about the Viking cruise. I mean, everything I hear about Viking is it's unbelievably nice.
No. You'll have a wonderful trip, and it'll be a very memorable. And you want to do the second one because it'll be the nicest thing.
As soon as we get back, we're going to announce something. I don't know. I'm going to work it out with T, but we're going to go somewhere next year. So go with us. We're thinking Italy right now.
Okay. And please have a security pouch that you wear around your neck and goes under your shirt that your passport goes in.
Oh, really?
There'll be a sea of moving pickpockets in the Louvre.
That's what I hear. There are pickpockets everywhere in France. People been sending me these scam artist things that they like. Kids come up to you and ask you to sign a petition or something. And then while you're
don't talk to them. And the other thing I'll mention is have a copy of your passport in a separate suitcase.
We've done that. Yeah.
Okay,
all right.
Well, good. So somebody's advised you good. Have a safe trip.
All right, Tom. Thank you much, man. All right. Wait a minute. We have Brad. We've only got like 30 seconds.
That's
Brad
perfect.
Dorett has shown
First
up.
of all, you're going to need that.
What did you bring me?
A croissant.
Oh, my.
For your trip. You can probably eat it now, but it's important that
I didn't have any breakfast this morning, so that's a good idea.
Good. The second thing is
my first croissant.
As an American in France, you're going to want to assimilate. It's dangerous anytime you go out of the country. So I want to make sure you can assimilate. And when you go to the Louvre, you could wear this if you'd like. Your very own.
He's brought me a little French beret.
Oh, yes.
Oh
yeah.
my word.
Oh, yeah. Is that Leonardo almost?
All right, we'll be back after the news.
from the WNCT 9 on your side newsroom. This is your Talk of the Town information update. Here's Patrick Johnson.
Heavy rain creating problems on the coast. Several inches of water covering portions of NC-12 and the Outer Banks. Officials are urging drivers to use extra caution over the next several days. Despite the downpours, the State Department of Environmental Quality says North Carolina's long-term rainfall deficit remains. Some counties are still more than 20 inches below normal. Washington City Manager Jonathan Rory is out after just 3 months on the job. The City Council voted unanimously Thursday to fire Rory following a special meeting where members questioned several city employees, including the interim police chief. Council members cited budget concerns that contributed to staffing shortages in the police department and emergency communications. Rory previously served as manager in Spring Lake, where commissioners removed him last year. No word on Washington's next move. Eastern North Carolina could receive significant military funding under a defense bill approved by the U.S. House. Congressman Don Davis and Greg Murphy both voted for the House version of the National Defense Authorization Act. The two say the measure would strengthen national security while improving quality of life for service members and their families. The Senate must pass its own version before lawmakers can negotiate a final bill to send to the president. North Carolina is putting more money into recruiting and keeping law enforcement officers. The new state budget provides state law enforcement with raises averaging more than 16%. That depends on the agency. State Highway Patrol troopers will receive 15% raises, while eligible local law enforcement officers are set to receive a one-time bonus of $1,750. Governor Stein says the raises take effect August 1st, with bonuses scheduled to be distributed October 1st.
Good Friday morning. We'll see highs today in the low 80s, but our Storm Team 9 weather alert day remains in effect as we see a chance for showers and storms, and some could be strong to severe. I'm Storm Team 9 meteorologist Olivia Monteleone for Talk 96.3 and 103.7.
Open Line Friday on Talk 103.7, Talk 96.3, and the IBX Media app. Stay with us.
It's Open Line Friday.
I wrote the number down. I don't know if it's the right number. Let's try it.
Call Henry and Patrick now at 252-561-8255.
I don't know. Give it a shot.
Or at 866-963-1037. This is Talk 96.3 and 1037. Now from the Town Bank studio, here's Henry Hinton and Patrick Johnson.
Bonjour, everyone. Bonjour. We are back live in the Town Bank studio this morning. I'm wearing my French beret that Brad Durrett has bought for me to wear on the plane today on the Paris trip. I probably will not do that, Brad, but I'll wear it here for a minute or two. Today we start our big we fly out of Raleigh to Paris for our Talk of the Town cruise, our Talk of the Town tour, and when we get back, we'll announce where we're going next year. And I want people to get ready to sign up and go with us because we got like 60 people going today. We're going to have fun. I'm getting all sorts of stuff. Steve Hawley from Greenville Utilities sent me a picture of. There are a few tables beyond the lounge. I'm getting all sorts of tips on the Viking cruise. Enjoy the same lunch and dinner as the dining room. You can sit outside. That's great. I love it. Yeah. I have not heard back from Paula Dance. Let me find some other follow-ups here. We've asked Paula Dance if we can call her to talk about the dog that died in the car. No response. We did get a response from ECU Health on the United Healthcare thing. It has been extended through August. And tomorrow is the big Laughing House Family Living Estate Sale at Bostic Sugg. Don't forget, furniture, office supplies, collectibles. They got some sports collectibles, living estate items for sale, more than 400 items. And in the Bostic Sugg location is an absolute auction. Billy Clark will be the auctioneer tomorrow. John Moore will be there. Items can be previewed today from 10 to 3. So head over there between 10 and 3 this morning and this afternoon. Registration and viewing will begin at 6:30 tomorrow morning so you can see what you're going to bid on. Then bidding begins at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. You can do cash, Venmo, Zelle, or accepted forms of payment. It's an absolute auction. Dealers are welcome. All items removed on the day of the purchase, so bring your truck or trailer to load your purchases. Personnel will be available to assist you with loading. This absolute auction sale will end at 4 p.m. on Saturday, but if needed, the sale will resume on Sunday at 2 o'clock. So head over there today and see what you want to bid on between 10 and 3 at the Bostic Sugg building, and then the auction begins at 8 tomorrow morning. Or I'm taking off this ridiculous hat. But maybe I'll wear it in Paris. All right, open line Friday, 252-561-8255, 561-8255. Yes?
You have the audacity to criticize my hats.
Well, I didn't pick that hat. I was given that hat, and I'm going
you
to Paris.
Put it on. A free will.
It's a Paris hat. It's better looking than your hat. We got some people holding, but we got a couple of talkbacks on our app. If again the talkback item, talkback app, talkback icon is on the Interbanks Media, the IBX Media app. Couple of talkbacks last hour. Let's play the first one there, Logan. This is Frank on the talkback.
Hello, Henry. Mark Jones here.
Oh, Mark.
How about sharing some of the details of your agenda in France so people can comment and give you suggestions as far as what to do, et cetera, et cetera?
Thank you, Mark. Mark is a world traveler, former professor at ECU, one of the sane ones. And I'm pulling up the agenda right now, Mark. Let's see. I was looking, my wife and I were looking over it last night. A Viking does a great job of preparing you. They send you, you have your own portal with all your information in it, which I cannot open right now. I had it open earlier. I don't know why it won't open. But I will say that, we're going for, one of the highlights of this event is going to be when we go to see the Normandy beaches. We're going to Omaha Beach. We're going to the graveyards in Normandy. And I hear that's, very emotional and very worth it. But I think we're doing 3 days in Paris. We got a whole day set up tomorrow in Paris, where we're going to do a tour. And and then we're going to take up the Seine River. We're going to some of the other smaller French burgs, some of the smaller French villages. I can't pull it up right now. But we're going to Monet's house. I know that. That's another one of the big ones. Is that we're going to some huge castle. But it's going to be fun. But the folks at Viking they're just it's just unbelievable. So I hope people will sign up and go with us next year. It looks like it's going to be Italy next year. I don't know. All right, one more talk back. We had another one from Frank, I think.
This is Frank. I'll agree with Tom Tillis if he'll do one thing. Bring me one North Carolina citizen who cannot get an ID who is an American citizen. Just one. If he can show that, I'll agree with him. Thank you.
I don't think that's his argument. It's not. He's not arguing that people can't get an ID. That's been one of the ridiculous Democrat arguments. Tom's argument has been that the absentee voting part of that bill is too restrictive, A, and B, we don't have time to implement it before the November election, which I think is ridiculous. As I said before, even if you implement it badly, it's still better than not having it. All right, let's go back to the phones. We've had people holding quite a while. Chris in Jacksonville's been holding. Chris, I'm sorry for making you hold all that time. Good morning, Chris.
That's quite all right, Hank. That's quite all right. What I've got is not a national problem, but a local problem, state-related.
Okay.
Have you seen how many e-bikes are on the road?
Well, I own an e-bike, so or you have a problem with e-bikes?
Actually, yes, I do. The scooters that are listed as mopeds do not have pedals on them. A moped is a motorized pedal vehicle.
Yep.
If you look at the VIN tag on these scooters, they say motorcycle on them. Why are they not required to have a motorcycle license? I don't care about the engine size. It is registered with the VIN as a motorcycle. An e-bike with an electric motor is an actual moped. Why do they not have a moped license?
I don't know. I mean, that's a good question. And I'll tell you, they are dangerous. They're very dangerous. They're fun.
Oh, yeah.
They're fun.
Well, I've seen them flying down the sidewalk at 35 miles an hour.
You know what I saw this week? Where was I? Oh, I was in Jacksonville. And I saw two young kids riding them. I'm talking like 11, 12 years old.
Exactly.
And I was thinking, I think that's illegal, isn't it?
I believe so.
I think you have to be. I think you have to be 16 to ride one.
Right.
And you should have it. You should be 16 to ride because they're dangerous. But I tell you, mine is kind of sitting in my beach place now, and I don't get to use it much because of this stupid rule that the Pine Knoll Shores City Council came up with that you can't ride it on the beach, even in the winter. In the dead of winter, you can't ride it on the beach. It's illegal. It's for stupid. But I do ride it through Beacon's Reach and and I do ride it on the road. I tell you, I don't like to ride it on the beach road. It's because it's dangerous. I'm afraid somebody's going to hit me. I mean, but I've got the helmet. I've got the helmet with. I got the helmet with and I bought one of those little mirrors that clip onto your helmet.
Yes,
so I can see everything. Patrick, you would love to see me in my bike helmet. All you can see is helmet and neck.
Right. Couldn't look any worse than the beret.
It's not a good look for me, yeah.
No, couldn't be worse than the beret. What's the caller's name again? I'm
Leave
sorry.
the beret
Chris.
alone.
Chris.
Yeah. Chris, so I haven't
beret.
seen this year. I haven't seen this year, Chris, as much young people on those bikes darting in and out of traffic down here that I did last year. It was bad. And I was terribly concerned that some kid's going to get hit by a car. I mean, because they were just darting in and out of traffic on these e-bikes. But I haven't seen as much of it this year.
I don't know how it is around ECU, but UNCW down here in Wilmington, These people are reckless. They are going against the flow of traffic instead of with the flow of traffic.
I've seen that too. I saw a kid. I saw a kid this week on. I'm not sure it was an electric bike, but he was riding down the left side of the road, and I'm like, man, that's so dangerous. It's not good. All right, Chris. Well, you want to change the law, contact your legislature. You got Mike Lazzara down there in Onslow County, who's a pretty powerful guy. Talk to Mike about it.
And that's my next step. I wanted to talk to you about it first, Hank.
I'm not with you on this, by the way. I don't want to have to go get a moped license, but I understand your concern, and I think it's legitimate. So talk to Senator Lazzara. All right, Chris. 252-561-8255, 561-8255, Open Line Friday. Mike in Oriental has been holding a while. Good morning, Mike.
Mike, this is Mike. Hey, Henry, how are you this morning?
Good. Nice to hear from
I
you.
want to make a comment on concerning that dog that died in a car. I know nothing about it. I learned about this listening to you this morning.
Right.
But if I were a criminal intent, which I'm not, and I were to assault a canine officer's dog, I would be charged with assault on an officer.
That's right.
And I feel that this particular officer, this handler of this canine, should be immediately dismissed and charged with, to the fullest extent of the law, with animal cruelty, neglect, and dereliction of duty.
Well, you know what Paula Dance says? It was because of funding.
Well, it's going to one less person off the payroll, then, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I don't know, man. They haven't released very many details. We heard it happened a while back. It was late coming out. I don't know, but I mean, it's tragic. It's just tragic that dog suffered in that car like that, and it's hard to understand. But I mean, it does happen with children.
Yes,
People
yes,
forget
and
they
the
have
parents
children in the
are.
back seat.
And I would like to add to that: anyone that is a handler and responsible for their animal, and they cannot take care of that animal to any better than that, to let it die in a car, has no business to be in charge of a gun and a badge.
Yeah. All right, Mike, thank you. All right, we got to get a break in. 252-561-8255, 561-8255. Anything on your mind? We hadn't heard anybody from Washington this morning. I'd love to hear from somebody. What is going on in Washington? The Washington City Council has fired the city manager after he's just been on the job a matter of weeks. And they're saying it's because of his philosophy on how he was going to handle the call center for emergency calls. I mean, is there more to this story? It happened. They called an emergency meeting with the mayor out of town and fired the city manager. Seems a little suspicious to me. 252-561-8255, 561-8255. We'll be right back.
It's Open Line Friday.
I wrote the number down. I don't know if it's the right number. Let's try it.
Call Henry and Patrick now at 252-561-8255.
I don't know. Give it a shot.
Or at 866-963-1037. This is Talk 96.3 and 1037. Now from the Town Bank studio, here's Henry Hinton and Patrick Johnson.
We got more calls holding. Stand by. We'll get back to the phone calls at 252-561-8255. This is our last show for the month of July. We will take next week off, and in the time period where Talk of the Town normally airs, we'll have a news talk program called The Gordon Deal Show, which is a network show. While we take a little summer hiatus while I'm in Paris, I'll be back a week from Monday, and the week we're back, the first week of August, is going to be, we're coming back with a bang. We're going to have Speaker of the House Mike Johnson on with us. Mike Johnson is going to be in Greenville that week, and he has agreed to an interview with us, and so we'll have Mike Johnson and a lot of other great stuff to talk about. And when we get back, we're going to be headlong, PJ, and getting ready for football season. We are excited about that. Let's do the boating forecast. By the way, it's pouring rain outside Greenville, right outside our studios this morning. It looks like it's 11 o'clock at night. It's so dark. Here's the boating forecast for the weekend, though, brought to you by Park Boat Company of Washington and Manio Marine in Manio. Today, southwest winds 10 knots. Sounds and rivers are going to be light, and the waves offshore 2 to 3 feet. On Saturday, winds 10 to 15 knots, increasing later in the afternoon. Sounds and rivers should be moderate. Again, seas will be 2 to 3. And then on Sunday, north winds 10 to 15, going to be a good boating day, and the weather's going to clear up. Going to be light chop in the afternoon, moderate in the morning in the sounds and rivers, and offshore is only going to be 2 to 3 feet. So Sunday's the best day weather-wise, but honestly, it's not going to be bad boating if you can find some spots in between the showers. Also, not bad. All right, back to the phones at 252-561-8255. Open line Friday, 252-561-8255. Lisa in Beaufort. Good morning, Lisa.
Good morning, Henry. Thank you for taking my call.
Thank you for calling us. Yeah.
I appreciate it. But what I have to gripe about, you mentioned, and you're not the only person that mentions this, to call your congressperson or your senator or whatever. I'm an immigrant from Kentucky, and my congressperson at that time in Kentucky was Mitch McConnell, and that's a whole other ballgame. But it's
Mitch McConnell's not from Texas. He's from Kentucky.
I'm from Kentucky, right? What did you think I said, Texas?
Oh, did you say Kentucky?
Kentucky.
Oh, I thought you said you were from Texas. I'm sorry, I misunderstood you.
No, that's okay.
Okay.
So. But by you and other people, you have a little bit more clout than I do. But for us regular folk, when we do call our senators and our representatives, we never hear from them, and they never answer the phone, which is insulting. So it always insults me when somebody tells me to do that, because I get nothing, and I have reached out to lots of people. But so that was that was basically it. When I hear people like yourself, nothing personal, I have a lot of respect for you, tell other people to do that. For us regular folk, they don't take our calls.
Well, Chris, the caller from Jacksonville was talking about the e-bikes. I was telling him to call his state senator. I think you'd have a lot more luck hearing from a state senator or a state house member. They don't; those guys will respond to you, and that's why they're local. They live in your communities, and so
right.
I think you probably have more luck with that. But I hear what you're saying.
That's not my experience. And just FYI, be careful over there in France. You know how those French are. Have a nice day.
All right. Bonsoir. Thank you very much, Lisa. 252-561-8255. 252-561-8255. Phones are clear. We need some callers. Call us up. I do have an answer on the moped issue. Chris in Jacksonville was saying he thinks that people that ride bikes should have a moped license or a motorcycle license. One of our listeners, David, said it's due to the fact that they cannot go fast enough. The e-bikes don't go more than 35 miles per hour which is what you have to have have a license plate or a registration. It is illegal to sell an e-bike that will go 35 miles per hour in the United States so far. So, yeah. My e-bike will not go 35. I have gotten it up to maybe 18, 19 miles in it, maybe 20 when I'm riding on the open road. If I use the motor, it'll go fast. That's fast enough, and it goes fast enough that I don't like to go that fast. And I have fallen once on the e-bike. I fell into a bush, though. I did not fall. My daughter has an e-bike, and we were both riding them on the beach. I did fall in the sand one
Joe
day.
Bitten.
Yeah, but so they can be dangerous. 252-561-8255, 561-TALK. John in Aden, you're on Open Line Friday. Good morning. John, you there?
Turn your radio down, John.
Oh, John is listening on his radio. He's listening on his radio. John, we cannot communicate with you because we're on an 8-second delay.
No, I'm listening. I'm talking on my phone. The radio's down.
Okay. Now we got you. Now we got you.
I watched the 12U softball team girls play all summer. The all-star team overachieved, but came out a little bit short. But
yeah, man, I was watching. We've been talking about it all week. I watched them. I watched them lose that game on Wednesday. I felt so bad for them. They played great.
Yeah. What I don't understand is why we never take our best team. Really, too many good, better players at home.
Well, I mean, I don't know how the softball works now. I was actually one of the people that was involved in forming that softball league, and back in the day, we had, the coaches pick the all-stars. Is that not the way it is now?
I'm not sure, and I don't know if they got a certain number of each team or whatnot.
No, I don't think that's right. I think they do pick the best players. There's a lot of politics involved. I mean, there's a lot of horse trading that goes on with the coaches saying, if you vote for my player, I'll vote for your player, and sometimes that does leave some of the best players out, I think.
Well, they were definitely left out this year.
Yeah, well, in whose opinion? Did your girl get left out? Is that what happened?
No, I don't have a granddaughter, and I just like softball, and I like to go with the best team. No.
Yeah.
But I observed them all year, and
well, let me tell you something, John. I've been involved in these youth sports for 40 years. And the argument you're making is the argument I hear every single year, that somebody got left off the all-star team that should have been on it. It's a difficult process, and I'm sure it's true. I think there are politics involved in it. And I do know from my grandson's Little League experience that, there's a lot of horse trading and negotiating that goes on. And so some of the best players sometimes do get left out. I think that's right.
And one other thing, we have 10U, 8U, 10U, and 11U. So we have 11U team, but we had 11U players on this 12 under team, and I think there were some other 12U players that were left off.
Okay. All right. Well,
just my opinion, and
I think they were one game short of making the World Series, weren't they? So they must have been pretty good.
Yeah, they were good. And we had some really good players on the team.
I tell you, I saw them beat the Georgia team the day before on Tuesday. I saw the end of that game. Never seen a more exciting end to any sporting event. They were down 6-4, and then that girl came up and smashed that ball to the wall. I thought it was going to go out. She hit.
And one last thing.
Yeah.
Johnson County is a state champs. Keep your eye on them in the years to come.
Okay. All right. Thank you, John. Sounds like John's into the girls softball. All right. 252-561-8255. 561-8255. My friend Steve, who I have not met, from Jacksonville, has been sending me stuff about France. He says, go to the American Cemetery in Normandy at 4 p.m. sharp. They lower the American flag and play taps. Be sure not to miss that. Also, the grave of Theodore Roosevelt Jr., Medal of Honor winner, is toward the back. You would walk down the path right to the ocean. Yeah, I'm looking forward to going to the
Normandy.
To Normandy, I really am, in Omaha Beach. I just watched that movie Pressure. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
What a day that must have been, 1944 in June. What a day. 10,000 people killed on that beach that day. 6,700 of them, I believe, were Americans. Thank you, Steve. Where are we going? Logan? Doug in New Bern. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir.
Good morning to you.
Yes, sir.
I got three things. First thing, when you go to Normandy, Utah, Omaha, carry some knee pads and carry a handkerchief and get ready to stand straight a whole lot. It is a moving situation.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Our reserve unit used to go over there every other year to support a NATO exercise, and we made all them trips. And I know you're not hitting Luxembourg, but we're Patton is buried. That same deal. But it is moving. You will not talk to the person beside you.
That's what I hear. That's what I hear. Yeah.
And those soldiers.
Well, my dad was a World War II veteran. All my uncles were. My uncle was injured in World War II. He lost his leg. He stepped on a landmine in Italy. And so my family has deep roots with World War II, and this is going to be quite an experience for me to go to Normandy, I think.
But earlier in the week, you were asking about things you need to say, and it may have changed now. It's been since the late 90s that I was last there. Made a lot of trips over there prior to that. But the receptacles, electrical receptacles, they're the male prongs on your plug.
Yeah,
didn't match up.
I've got the adapters. We've already bought the adapter. Actually, my kids have had adapters already. We had to use those last year in Curacao. When we went to Curacao down in South America, Curaçao's like 25 miles off the coast of Venezuela. That's where we were for Thanksgiving last year. Beautiful, beautiful place. But one of the quirky things about it is they don't use the electrical plugs that we use in this country. We had to use those, and I'll tell you, I had a problem with them because one of those adapters actually blew up and blew a fuse in the house we were staying in, and that became a problem.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, we didn't know about it till after we got there, and we were.
We're actually going to be on the. We're staying on the boat the whole time. So I don't know how much. I don't. Does anybody know? Does the Viking cruise have those American electrical plugs, or are they European over there?
I would probably think they got American plugs.
We'll see.
And my third thing is, I've not ever paid a whole lot of attention to Don Davis because I wasn't able to vote for him until they redistricted. But I've been kind of following him. But I noticed WCTI and Don Davis must have a close relationship because they've been interviewing him a lot on news media. And like this hospital that just got the funding, he didn't come out and say he got the credit, but he was telling how important it is. And if you go in,
he called a press conference right after the money went to the Williamson Hospital, I'm thinking, he had nothing to do with it.
He reminded me of a worm.
Of a what?
A worm.
Well, I'll tell you. I'll tell you my feeling about Don Davis. He's one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet in your life. I really, really, really like him on a personal level. But I mean, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. He has done nothing. He did nothing when he was in the legislature, and he's done nothing.
Well, wait a minute. He did. He committed to vote for money going to the med school and to Aiden, and then voted against it. So he did something.
Right. And that's the other thing. He and then wouldn't own it. Own it.
Right.
All right. And there was another vote recently. I can't find it right now. I was going to talk about all the Dems. Where is he on immigration? Where is he on women and men and women's sports and all that crazy stuff? All right. Thank you, Doug. We got to get a break in. We will be right back. More calls at 252-561-8255. 561-8255. Be right back. All right, let's check our stock numbers. Yesterday, brought to you by the Shook Rouse Group of Truist Investment Services, Scotty Shook and Thomas Rouse. Yesterday was a bloodbath. The Dow was down 506 points yesterday. NASDAQ down 553. S&P 500 was down 90 today. A little bit of a rebound on the futures. Dow futures are up 223 right now. NASDAQ 39 and S&P 500 17. There's your stock numbers brought to you by the Truist Investment Group, Scott Shook and Thomas Rouse. 252-561-8255. We got a lot of callers holding to try to get through all of them here, starting with Tim in Washington. Good morning, Tim.
Good morning, Henry. I got a question. I'm a truck driver, and when I'm riding through these towns that have trees that overhang the highways, when my truck hits that tree, who's responsible for the damage?
I don't have a clue. But, you know, when somebody asks a question like that, we always get some other listener that will answer it. So, have you had that experience recently?
I've had a tree to hit my truck. It didn't damage it, but the more I think about it, you know, if that was a little bit lower, it could have busted some fiberglass. It could have messed up a little bit of metal, and I'm wondering, do I pay for that, you know?
Yeah, that's a great question. You know, I don't know the answer to that.
Okay.
You know, here's the thing that I want to know. When you follow these trucks, and I don't know what kind of truck you're driving there, Tim, but when you follow these trucks that are carrying rocks and the rocks are flying out and hitting windshields, who's responsible for that?
Well, you know, we're not responsible because you're not supposed to be following very close to these trucks.
You don't have to be. You don't have to be following close. They always say stay 100 feet back. That's not enough. You need to be a half mile back, or you could get a damaged car or windshield.
Well, we're not responsible for it. That's what I don't know how the insurance does.
But I mean, there are also some laws about how you got to cover those rocks, isn't it?
Yes, most all of them are supposed to be tarped. Normally, when you get to the great big riprap like you put around your beaches and stuff, they don't have to be tarped because they won't bounce around.
Right. Okay. All right, Tim. Thank you. 252-561-8255, 561-TALK. Randy in Moore County. Good morning, Randy.
Hey, good morning, Henry. Good morning, Patrick and Cameron and Logan.
Good to hear from you.
Yeah, it's been a while, but listening on the app, and as I was telling Mike, I'll just keep this brief. We've been trekking across the country in the camper, went all the way to the Oregon coast, and listening to you in the morning, but I can't call in because it's different timing. Real quick, though, on the Tom Tillis thing, just an idea. I fell out with Tom Tillis several years ago because he's gotten squishy on the Second Amendment. He supported an NDA bill, and it's been several years ago, which made it easier for red flag laws, for states to enforce red flag laws, which is an absolute attack on the Constitution as a whole. But that's where I lost favor with Tom Tillis. And, you know, so kind of like your radio issue. I mean, overall, yeah, there have been things he's been doing, but I just think he's been weaker on the Second Amendment issues. I'm a member of a local group in North Carolina. We tried to speak to him at his office. He wouldn't come out and talk to anybody. Nonetheless, so that's one thing. And then earlier this week, you were making a comment about the Congress looking at a law to regulate phone calls on aircraft. I'm opposed to that because I think we already have enough of the government playing parent. Just because people are rude, that's because they got bad manners, and we should try to have a conversation with them. I don't need the government becoming more and more of a parent. We need
I hope that you get to sit next to that lady I was sitting to that was talking to her baby daddy.
Oh, I understand. Well, when that happens, I try to do things to let them know that what they're doing is rude.
Yeah.
But I don't need the government.
They don't care.
I don't need the government stepping more into my life. I need the government out of my life.
Yeah.
And let me live in my life in pursuit of happiness.
Yeah.
And get out of my life.
Yeah. All right.
On the K9, I know it's a lot, but I'm retired Air Force. I was a K9 police officer. There's absolutely no question. The officer has a duty to protect the dog.
Yeah.
And that's and I don't care what the issue is. You know, would the sheriff take her argument that my child died in the back of my car because of a lack of funding? I couldn't afford a sensor to put in my car. I guarantee you I would be going before a judge. So
well,
gotta be consistent.
I think they got to respond to some of these criticisms that are thrown out, and the idea that it was about funding is just, come on, that's insane. And I've texted Paula this morning and asked her to come on, and as expected, she's not responding to me. All right, Randy. Hey, always great to hear from you. Always good calls. Yeah, thank you.
Safe travels, man.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Bonsoir. All right, we got to get our last break in, and we'll be right back to close things out this morning. All right, we are in the last segment here. We got a lot to do here. We got to get through a lot of quick stuff here. Let me mention last time, the Laughing House family at Living Estate sale tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock at Bostic Sugg Furniture Building. Furniture, office supplies, family collectibles, Living Estate items for sale. More than 400 items offered in this absolute auction sale. It's going to be at 2115 East Fire Tower Road in the Bostic Sugg Building. Items can be previewed today, 10 to 3. Registration and viewing begins tomorrow morning at 6:30. The bidding will begin at 8 o'clock sharp with Billy Clark and John Moore. Cash, Venmo, and Zelle are the accepted forms of payment. Dealers are welcome. All items must be removed on the day of the purchase. Bring your truck or trailer to load your purchases. Personnel will be available to assist with loading. This absolute auction sale will end at 4 Saturday, and if needed, it will come back on Sunday at 2 o'clock. All right, Skip has been holding a long time down in New Bern. Let's get Skip in, and then we'll get a few sports headlines from Patrick and say goodbye. Good morning, Skip.
Good morning, Henry. I just got a quick thing to say about your trip to Normandy. I was there for the 75th anniversary there. It's quite emotional, as Doug said. But two things that stood out. When I checked in my hotel there, the young lady, about 30 years old, was checking me in. I said, "I'm sorry, I don't speak French." She said,
if it wasn't for your country, I'd be speaking German. That took me away.
She ain't wrong.
And then at 5 o'clock, we're there at Taps at the cemetery. Very emotional.
Yeah.
And they let us veterans stand up front and salute. But what got me was half of the people there, at least half, were French high school students, and they had tears in their eyes.
All right, I'm looking forward to that experience. I'll tell you all about it when I come back a week from Monday. Thank you, Skip. Good to hear from you. All right, PJ, a quick sports update here, then we're going to have to say goodbye.
American Athletic Conference Media Days in the Tampa area. ECU's quarterback battle between Emory Williams and Mitch Griffiths is a central theme in the preseason. Here's Blake Harrell on the competition.
Anytime you have good competition on your football team, it makes everybody around you better. And I couldn't be more excited about those two young men and the progression they've made in the offseason. I think whichever way we go, whatever happens here in August, I think, and throughout the season. And I know we're going to have some adversity throughout the season, and we'll overcome that. But I feel really good about those two young men. I feel like we're in good hands.
ECU will honor Pirate legend Chris Johnson this season as he battles ALS. The Pirates will wear a helmet decal featuring Johnson's name as number 5 and ALS awareness ribbon. Johnson announced his diagnosis in June. Carolina Panthers holding their breath. One of their stars went down on the first day of training camp. Nick Scorton carted off the field. It is being reported as a possible ACL injury to his right knee. And the Panthers are getting an overhaul. The team announced that David Tepper is putting an additional $500 million into the ongoing renovations at Bank of America Stadium. He wants to land a future Super Bowl. The project designed to improve the fan experience at a cost of $1.3 billion. Big hit.
All right, that is it for this morning. We are done for this morning, and we are done for the month of July. We'll be back August the 3rd. Next week, you'll be listening to another program in this time period, The Gordon Deal Show. Send me some feedback on whether you like it or not. And PJ, have a good week off. Michael, Logan,
I'll be working.
Thank you all you guys. We'll be off from the show, but no talk of the town next week. I'm off to Paris. When we come back, I'll give you a full report, and we'll be announcing where we're going maybe in 2027, and hopefully you can go with us on the next trip. But we're looking forward to this one. Everybody have a great week and a safe one, and I'll see you back here on